asking for their children to be targeted. And it's so unfair that they're asking those people that are really uninformed. Like the reporters are asking people that are not.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So what the news is saying, the neighborhood thinks that the community believes that the neighborhood is dangerous and they need more police. No, we do not need more police. We need resources. That's what we need, and we need the police.
We need community centers.
Yes.
I'm 30-something. I don't know how old are you guys.
42.
Well, so we around there. I'm 39. I grew up with the building had a community center. With the kids used to go down there and play in the computers because back in our days, not everybody had a computer in the house. You understand? I grew up with the neighbors pulling out ears if they saw us with a cigarette at a young age. I believe with the neighbors, well, we call snitching on my mother if they saw us kissing a boy. Your daughter was kissing a boy. Like, that's, you know who was our police? Our neighbors.
The village.
Yeah. Our neighbors was our police. Our neighbors used to control of this. Why we lacking of that? Because everybody is sticking to themselves. Or they too scared to open up the doors. Or they too scared to go out and say, listen, we need help. You understand? And when you do that, you end up with a kid in jail like I end up with a kid in jail right now. You understand? Because I stuck to myself, and that's what's getting me more frustrated as a mother. And now I have this kid that even though at a point I said, listen, Pedro, that's it. Stop fighting. Nah, it's not over. I'd rather get a jury to convict me of something I didn't do and appeal, but I'm not letting them put a label on me. What can I do? Back him up. I can't do nothing else but stand by his side, good and bad. You understand? But you don't know.
We gotta understand that a lot of this stuff you're talking about is embedded in institutional racism at the end of the day, right? And I'm formerly incarcerated as well. I'm here because of Layla. She's a friend of mine, so she invited me to come. And I did almost 13 years, and all my 20s was incarcerated, right? And I'm an advocate for criminal justice reform. I'm a co-founder of a nonprofit organization that helps provide employment for formerly incarcerated people. And at the end of the day, we have to realize that, the system is not broken. The system is doing exactly what it's intended to do, and that is to oppress the specific demographic of people, and it's doing that well. We just happen to have the complexion for the connection, unfortunately. We have to realize that we cannot reform a system that is not broken. We have to break the system that currently exists to create a new system and reimagine what it's like. Reimagine a world, or reimagine incarceration, right? Reimagine of criminal justice reform. We automatically assume that when a person makes a mistake or make a bad decision, they should go to jail. We live in a society where it's all about crime and punishment, right? But what we don't do, years ago, they renamed prisons to correctional facilities so they could be more acceptable to exchange on the stock market, right? Despite the fact that they were not correcting any behavior, they said, let's name them correctional facilities, so this way when people are investing their dollar into it, it looks like they're investing in something that is helping.
They're doing nothing.
Despite the fact that it's not doing that, right? So now, we have to ask ourselves now, at the end of the day, as Layla mentioned, our communities are under-resourced, over-policed, lack of jobs, right? And that's not like a new thing, right? We know that this is not a new thing. This is not a fad, right? We know that, like, right now, the boom of incarceration is now birthed around women. Women are the fastest growing demographic of incarceration right now in the country. Women of color. So now, you already snatched the head off the families by removing the fathers in the 80s and 90s due to the crack epidemic. Now, here we are now, fast forward to 2017 in the 2000s, now we're removing the women. So now, these plans of breaking down,
was going to make it.
Yes, breaking down and demolishing the communities and our families is not something that was done by accident. It was
and now they're targeting our babies. Like my big complaint, right? When there would be a whole bunch of people, I was really bad after that whole incident with the police officer being killed, and it was because I thought we were being terrorized by the police. The whole community, the next day, everything on 183rd was closed. There were police officers everywhere, and people posting that live around my community, talking about that, that the neighborhood is horrible and that all of the, there's so many bad kids and they're all black and Latinos, or Latino from the community saying that. I was like, I have an 18-year-old boy. You're asking these police officers to go after my child for something that a man who was not even from my neighborhood, he was not from that community, he did that. He had mental health issues, which were not taken care of while he was incarcerated. They were not, he tried to go to the police. I'm not saying what he did was wrong. I feel bad for the family, I feel bad for all of that. But you cannot, has anyone even tried to investigate what kind of trauma he faced when he was young? Why is he so against police officers? Why does he hate? Was he like, God forbid, the little girl? I don't get tired of saying that. Philando's stepdaughter, 4-year-old child. Philando Castillo was killed with her in the vehicle by a police officer. Is anyone trying to address whatever trauma she has? In 20 years, God forbid, if that little girl kills a police officer, are you gonna blame her? That's what, our kids are fucking traumatized by police officers and no one is dealing with that. So it's gonna continue to happen because we have serious trauma.
Well, that's where you're wrong. Someone is dealing with that.
Who's dealing with that?
I got you. I got it. All right. Now, if you don't know, because you ain't been watching TV.
I do watch TV.
I got you right now.
CNN. I don't take it off. The CNN Live is.
Well, first of all, I want to answer that question. But let me say an intro. First of all, hello, good evening. I'm Manuel Gomez. I'm the private investigator of the Jessica Perez family. Let me say hello to her. All right. You're wrong. Somebody does care, and it's me. And that's why I'm here. Because I've been an army of one, but I've been kicking their ass left and right. So the question is, do you want to? That's what I want to hear.
Yes.
Because you see, I get all this.
Nah.
All right. Are you gonna walk with me? Are you gonna knuckle up with me?
Yeah.
Or are you gonna let the suit and tie fool you?
No.
Okay. Because you see.
Actually, they don't shoot the suit and tie.
Hold on.
That's how so messed up that they are.
I'd like to just say hello to everybody. All right, Manuel. I don't know who everybody is.
Well, I think we should all introduce ourselves one by one before Manuel jumps in. Because when he jumps in, it's gonna be mind blowing. So I'm gonna set it off real quick. I'm me. Finally,
I'm
brother.
so happy to finally make your
Definitely.
All right?
Definitely.
Thank you for this, and thank you for that article and helping me out with showing today. I think he did bring out a lot more in his article today, and to make sure that this doesn't go under the rug. I made a promise over a year ago to that woman, and I said that there is no stone and nothing I will not do until I bring her back her son. Not only that, but I'm known for winning. I only take cases of innocent people. Jessica will tell you. All right? And
That's part of his contract. If you're guilty,
He don't take you.
I'm not. You lose your money. I'm not gonna. I find the dirt, and I'm gonna tell you you're guilty. Goodbye.
Because I'm also was a former lawman. My background is Army counterintelligence officer. Did that for 22 years. I protected the U.S. ambassador. So I was always the guy you didn't want to see. All right? And unfortunately, I've taken those skills and that mindset and now bring it to the people, to the neighborhoods where I grew up. Because I used to ride my bike in the Grand Concourse. I went to Cardinal Haynes High School on 67 on Sunday. Actually, when I got my first remote control plane, hit a bus, and my father kicked my ass because the bus crashed. But that's another story. But long story short, I've come back, and I've been working this case. Now, this case opens up Pandora's box, okay? And it goes, and it transcends color. Because I have a black cop that doesn't know Black Lives Matter.
Yeah, they don't know.
No, but this guy doesn't know.
No,
Because
this
he
guy
says something
doesn't
you
know.
don't
They
know.
don't know.
He tells Spanish mothers like this one, I'm gonna break you open. You're gonna feel me. If you spread your legs, I wanna arrest your children. He's told that to black and Spanish mothers. And pull this penis out in uniform and say, take care of this, and I won't lock up your kids. Now I have this on video. I have this right here. I have all that here.
He has it on video.
Now, I have it on video.
Man got it on video.
This kid, all right, is right now, may the Lord strike me down if he's not innocent. Because I have everything, and I can't say the last part, but on September 6th, I will rock the Bronx. Because what
It's gonna be before that. It's gonna be before that.
No, but what I have is so huge. Okay? You just had a cop for the Dirty 30. I don't know if you guys heard of that.
Washington Heights.
And they used a girl who was on substance abuse, she was on crack, to say, you robbed Citibank, you robbed the bodega, you robbed the Pizza Hut, you robbed the old lady in the train, and they used the same witness. All right? These brothers are doing the same.
Same thing.
Now you ask me, can I prove that? And Jessica Perez will tell you, yes. But not only that, they're also using other people. So I'll take this guy and I'll go, Ariel, you better say this woman robbed that bank. If you don't, I'm going to put it on you. And I'm going to fuck you up. And I'm going to go to your home. And I'm going to go to your family. I'm going to harass you. This is what they do. Now you said to me, how do I know all this? Because I have it on video. I have evidence of it. 100% guaranteed. So what I'm asking today is support me in freeing the Hernandez family and and bringing justice to this situation, because this case that I have had the blessing to have, and I don't know if she told you how it happened, but I freed another kid. His name was Angel Javier. Now maybe you people saw it. That was a kid holding a soda cup in the street, and a gang ran by chasing a kid named Hantu Arias, and they locked up this kid holding a soda cup, waiting for a cab where the murder happened. Now last time I checked, once you kill somebody, you usually don't
stay there.
And you don't get a soda cup from McDonald's. And they wait where the murder scene is. So when the cops came and saw all the kids running, they said, grab the one with the soda cup, not the kids running. So they grabbed him. All right? The kid was in jail 2 years. Now this is how this mother found me. This mother and her son found out about that case. Is that correct, Jessica? And she went to the court. She went down to court to look for me. All right? And that's how I met her. And I freed that kid. He was in jail for 2 years. He was raped, beaten. Everything possibly think could happen to this kid did. And I found a video that proved him innocent. 2 years later, it was still on the computer. Because I got to ask you all something. When you delete something on the computer, where does it go? Trash bin. How long does it stay in the trash bin, then?
Forever.
So when I went over there, they wouldn't see me because they looked at me and says, "Oh, this white guy. Do you remember this my time?" I go, "What?" Right? He says, "This white guy." He goes, "We're not gonna deal with him. He looks like a cop."
You do.
And I said, "No, but they don't have nicer suits." Right? Right? But the other thing is that I go and I do what I gotta do, and I says, "Okay, they won't work with me." So what do I get me? I get me a Beyonce system. With the summer dress and the low cut. And I go back to the mechanic shop. And I said, "This is my partner. This is Chantel. Remember she used the restroom? And I said, I'm a little hungry. Man, you gotta get something." So I went to the McDonald's. Got me $40 in burgers. The value meals. I went across the street. I got me a 2-liter Bacardi Black. And I got me 2 liters of Pepsi.
And you come back and Chantel has the video.
Chantel had wrapped on her finger. So after about an hour and a half of eating and drinking and then flirting with her, I said to the manager, "Excuse me, I'm sorry, I'm in the bother you, Chantel, excuse me. Can I look on the computer and see if you have it?" "Ah, go ahead, no problem."
Wow.
I spent an hour and a half on the computer. It was file number 286. That was the video that proved that kid innocent. So again, on this case, this woman came, Ms. Perez, and she came to me, and the same thing happened. Except for her case, it opened up all these doors to all these other kids.
The layers is crazy.
So I'm not talking about just Pedro now. It's looking like, from what I'm seeing, anywhere to 25 to 50 kids. And a corrupt district attorney who was working with them. Now we're talking, when you look at those numbers, you're talking about maybe 100 to 200 cases that might have to get overturned because of the corruption involved in this case.
But them
That's
two
how
cops
big
got
this is.
about 2,000 convictions in their career, so
So
it could
now
be more than that.
Yeah.
And now, on that
And all
note,
of those
that's how they got
cases,
promoted. All right? All right? And that big guy back there, all right? You know, like, you can ask him later on about that. All right? But again, these cops have falsified cases so that they could move up the ladder and make detective, and they've done it, and they've been very successful. Okay? My plan is this. You know, if you can help me, reach out, because there's nothing more powerful than a mother, and a black mother, and a Spanish mother, who's upset talking to the community. Because you know how I got the video of that guy, Terrell Thorne Dykes? A black mother knew that I was one of the guys in the street. And I happened to be in the hallway. And she goes, "You're that guy?" And guess what she does? "I have something for you." All right? And there's another one, and another one saw it too. She saw it. She saw it on Facebook. So now she saw it on her Facebook, but now the lady who had the original video came up to me. What are the odds of that? Okay? So, again, it's grown so big. If you can help us, I'd appreciate that. Because you would only be helping us, you'd be helping the community. And there's one last piece, and I'll sit down after this. The 42nd precinct, many of you don't know, is the #1 precinct in New York where has 20% of the civilian complaints are generated on. So, out of all the police precincts in New York, 20% of them come from, 20% of the civilian complaints come from that precinct. Okay?
How about 46?
No, 46 is #3. So if you go on the CCRB, the Civilian Complaint Review Board, the 42nd, right up here. All right, so you go on the Civilian Complaint Review Board, and you will see on their site that it shows what precincts are the worst. That's #1 in New York.
With
For
20% of all complaints.
Falsifying
In the whole 5
complaints.
boroughs, that's like,
That's a lot.
Crazy.
And so that's a fact. Now you should ask me, Manuel, how many cops do you have under investigation in that precinct?
17.
I like this guy. That's exactly right.
Wow.
Will you follow me? Got my phone, you follow? But it's like I said, it's 17. 17 of them are under investigation for corruption. Well, I'm working on it. All right?
Probably more.
But it's 7. And here's the funny thing. Guess who they were all connected to?
Daniel,
Detective
Daniel
David Terrell
David
and Daniel Brady. All right? And it's all the night shift. I don't consider that coincidental. I have videos of strangulations, chokings, people being choked out. I have it all right here. So when you guys are done, if you want to see, I'll show it to you.
Yeah.
All right? And that's what I'm representing. Please excuse my face because I usually don't look like this. I'm doing some undercover work. So, but,
What's wrong with your face?
huh? I usually clean shaven like this.
Oh.
I'm going to rip it off. It's so hot. But again, you know, is there any questions you have of me?
How can we help? How can I help? How can I be of help?
After everybody introduces themselves.
I think
What are
everybody
your-
should.
what are your positions?
Yeah, everybody should introduce themselves,
Go ahead.
so we can know what other people
Yeah.
could
Yeah, let
bring
me
to
know
the
what you bring to
table.
the table. We'll make it all together. We'll make a paella. We'll slip it all in. All right?
Un conto.
There you go. I like that. And that's
So I'll
everybody.
start. Okay.
So you can start, Layla.
So my name is Layla. I am a criminal justice reform advocate. I am a formerly incarcerated person myself. I'm a student at Columbia University, and I started an organization there for students who are impacted by mass incarceration.
God bless you. Shake your hand on that, man. Columbia?
Columbia University, yes.
Wow.
Human rights, I'm saying.
God bless you.
My name is Camilo Matos. I work with the Cultural Center in the Bronx on Freeman Street,
Yeah?
in Maestro, and I was also on the campaign to free Oscar Lopez Rivera.
Wow.
Big. He was a big guy over there.
Well, here, let me
They
give you
drove
my
me
card.
crazy with it.
If you ever need anything, if you ever need
I
anything-
couldn't even call them to say hi. Hey, how you doing? And then he was like, okay, what's up with Oscar? You coming down here for Oscar? They harassed me like that. You
Gentlemen,
want to go, Jason?
you look familiar.
I do?
Yeah.
Locked you up?
No, I didn't touch you.
No, I didn't. Never got locked up in New York City.
Thank you.
California?
I'm Roy Waterman. I'm a co-founder of an organization called Drive Change, which is a nonprofit organization that uses mobile vending to train, employ, and mentor the formerly incarcerated young people.
Wow.
And
So if I know somebody needs a job or something like that, you can help me out with that?
possible.
Good. I
Possible.
want your card. Because I get a lot of people that I help, and not only do I free them, but I also try to change their life and make them back into productive entities in society. All right? And so anybody that can help me to help them, I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
I could definitely help you with that too. So,
All right, I got you.
So I'm also a criminal justice advocate, and I speak a lot about mass incarceration, trauma, and how trauma is so closely related into our neighborhoods, and how we shift the paradigm of going from being looked at as the labels, because I'm big on terms and labels. I'm not an ex-con, I'm not an ex-inmate, I'm formerly incarcerated, I'm a returning citizen. So I'm big
I like
on
that.
language shifting the narrative on how we look at people who were once intercepted by the system, but more importantly as well, we know that we can't speak about subsets of different groups of people without being labeled a hate crime. It should be the same thing when we're talking about those who have been impacted by the justice system. So I believe that stories shift the narrative, so I share my story often. I talk a lot about that and the real life trauma that's associated with that. I got locked up at 19, I came home, I was 32, at 20 I was facing the death penalty. So
Wow.
I can relate to a lot of different things, and I've been home 8 years and change, so
Well,
it's
God
all
bless
about
you, man.
giving back.
Well, you know what? I respect that, you know, and I don't believe in coincidence. I believe it was destiny for me to all meet you here. And there's one service I want to offer all you. If you know somebody, what you do, that needs help, and that is a victim of the system, and that you know in your heart is innocent, call me. And if it's, I don't care what time it is, if it's 3 in the morning, just text me 911. Because I will get up and I'll go. But you got, and she'll tell you. She's called me at 2 o'clock in the morning. I had to show up at her house to kick out cops. All right? Or even 7 o'clock in the morning. And I threw them out the house. You know? So, again, you know, if you need that, please let me know. But I respect you on that.